Hello, friends. It's time for handwriting on Friday, March 5th. All right, here we go. That was a fun couple of games, an English game and a math game. It was fun to use those. I think you guys are doing great with this, and I'm really proud of you. Really, really proud of you. So make sure your paper looks great. You don't have to do the ramp up again unless you're Brianna or Jeff or KJ. If you want to do the ramp up on that, feel free, because ramp ups are good. They stretch your mind, but you don't have to. I'm not going to grade you on those. Moving on to handwriting. Today, let me share my screen here. It's a pretty easy handwriting page today. It's page 58 down here. I'll show it to you right here. 58, right down here at the bottom. And it is on initials. Initials are the letters, the first letter of your first name and the first letter of your last name. So my initials would be JH, J for Julie, H for Howard. We use initials a lot. You guys know exactly what these are when I write them on your water bottles. That's what I'm writing is your initials. Okay, so let's write our name and date. There you go. And now we'll do the initials for some of our people here. The initial is just going to be, we don't have their last name on this, so it's just giving us some practice writing their first and last name. Okay, so if you remember, a D went down, up to the top, and made a handle at the table. Okay, and Saul is an S. We start on the floor. We go up to the ceiling, go back to the table, all the way to the floor, and make a little hook like that. All right, now the J started at the table, went up to the ceiling, all the way down to the basement, and back up to the floor. Now that, back in the old days, we would write cursive letters differently, so it's hard for me to make that switch over, but that's how you do it. Now, to do the letter I, we start at the table, come up to the top, down to the floor. We don't go to the basement. Is that right? There it is. Yep, that is right. I always have to look back to check. It looks funny to me, but that's just because I'm used to doing it another way. Let me try that one again. I'm not really sure that I like how it turned out. Comes up to the top. And the difference between the I and the J is the J goes down to the basement, but the I does not. All right? And at the bottom, it asks us to write this sentence. God is so good. And it's also got a Bible verse here that would be fun to read. Let's have Kylie read this to us. Kylie, can you read this for us? God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble, from Psalm 46:1. But the sentence we're going to write is God is so good. We may have room to write it 2 times. Let's see. Let's trace it first. Actually, let me pull that up a little higher. Nope, no higher. It's as high as it'll go. But I can't make it bigger. There. Oh, drove off the road there, didn't I? Remember, we lift up to put that dot on that I. S starts at the floor, to the table. How come I'm not tracing anymore? Oh, I am. Maybe I'm just doing a good job. No. There it is. Back up to the table, back down to the floor, back up to the table, and then a little hook on it. Good starts at the floor, goes to the table, goes back to the floor, goes back to the table, all the way to the basement, up to the table, back to the table, up to the table, back to the floor, to the table, to the floor, ceiling, and floor. And this is a sentence. Can't forget our period there. And we're going to write it on our own. Ready? That G, up to the table, down to the basement, up to the table for the O, back down to the floor, table, over for the D, all the way to the ceiling. And we have an I that starts at the floor, goes to the table, goes to the floor, goes to the table, the floor, ends. Then we put our dot on it. So starts at the floor, table, floor, table for the O, and then you make your hook. And the good starts at the floor, table, floor, basement, back to the table for the O, jump over for the other O, jump over for the D, goes to the floor, ceiling, and there you go. And don't forget your period. Do one more of those if you can. All right, that's a lot of work, isn't it? All the way up to the ceiling and down to the pier. Whoa! Shoo! Are you tired? That was a lot of work. A lot of work on that today, but you did a great job. Good job on that. I'll see you next for, what have we got? Reading? We're going to read our story today, our Frog and Toad that we did our English out of. This one right here. I'll read it to you. We'll have fun with that. See you later. Bye-bye.